Welcome everyone. Hi everyone, welcome to the new live stream of the week. It's a different day today. Marie had her own live stream yesterday. My name is Patrick. I'm the community manager for Gate.io. I make sure everyone's happy, that all the content that's being produced is in line with what Gate.io wants, but especially what the community wants, what the users want. You know, that new projects that are listed are promoted correctly. I hear your wants, your needs, your complaints. So if you're hearing this for the first time, feel free to reach out and get in contact with me so I can see what I can do for you. There might always be something with, might have a nice idea in regards to UX design of the website or products, features. Generally, we're pretty up to date. We've got a wide variety of products, varying from hold and earn, where you can stake POS and earn. You can stake your coins, so you just deposit them. You don't have to do anything. To margin trading, which offers a 3 to 10x leverage. Perpetual contract trading, so that's futures without a delivery date, so-called forever lasting futures. We've got 3L long, 3S short kind of trades, which are part of the perpetual contracts, and we're ever expanding. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We're gonna I'll let you know what's happening at the moment, what's going on. Not a huge amount of new projects and products that have come out, but there's always stuff happening. We're always growing, and we are very much looking forward to remain one of the top 12 players in the game. As for BTC, what's happening? Everyone is expecting this 10K breakthrough, but not much is really happening, guys. It's currently, the BTC price is at 9,244. So that broke the pattern a little bit, because it dived all the way down to 9K, and what else is new? There's some FUD. There's some FUD in the industry, some FUD in the space, and then some FOMO. So all you know is that it's decentralized and immutable, and it's sovereign, and it's hard capped, and it's what else is it? It's deflationary. So the percentage of inflation decreases. These are only things which are certain. Now, what determines that it actually goes up or down, that's complicated, because there's so many factors which come into play. At some point, people were saying the miners are going to capitulate. Now they're saying that it follows the stock market. Well, actually, that's the only thing that is sure, right? It follows the stock market. So however much of a safe haven asset you consider it to be, or analysts or OGs consider it to be, didn't prove very much to be a safe haven asset when the stock market took a dive and BTC took a dive with it. I guess all those hedge fund managers and people who own BTC, eventually are just emotional people making emotional decisions based on an emotional market. It's interesting nonetheless, and I'm very bullish long term. I got long-term conviction for the reasons I mentioned before. It's decentralized, immutable, sovereign, hard-capped, because it means that it's besides a store of value, better than having a negative interest rate on your bank. It will appreciate in value. So especially now in these times, these crazy COVID times, which is affecting the global markets, it's something to keep your eye on. It's something that can't be printed. The ECB can't print any of it. The Bank of England can't print any of it. It's mathematically and algorithmically programmed to be capped at 21 million supply. It is divisible, so it's a very interesting feature of BTC. But for traders, it's not a very interesting time. Bitcoin is just going sideways a little bit. It jumps up to almost 10K, then drops back down to 9K, but staying in the 9 and 10K range. So if you're a super advanced trader, why not have a go? Head over to Gate.io, the ultimate trading hub for some super trades, and you can prove to the rest of the world how good of a trader you are. So let's see, today it's the end of our futures simulation trading. So we're introducing a new feature where we have futures with, generally futures have delivery dates. The perpetual contracts are endless. They are forever, so to speak. The futures simulation trading, it was a trading contest where you didn't actually have to use any real assets, but you could trade nonetheless, and you could win based on how much profit you made. Futures have a delivery date because they're related to an underlying asset which has a physical delivery date, but this is crypto, right? So there's no physical delivery of the crypto asset because it's digital. There's nothing physical about it because you also have futures on oil and wheat, in which case oil and wheat has to be delivered or has to be taken by the other party. There are three things which I want to talk about very briefly, one of which is, let me see, it's that we provide margin trading, borrow and lending services for FIL coin, IPFS. So FIL project has not been launched, so the deposit and withdrawal of physical FIL tokens has not been enabled. They're all futures products on every platform, that ours included. So from the shares of users from Renren ICO platform before, there's a 6-month lockup period, and according to official progress reports, it's estimated that the mainnet will be launched in July or August. Nonetheless, you are allowed to go short. You can go short, or you could go long by borrowing USDT. Go short by borrowing FIL coin. If you wish to hold FIL for a long time, you're also able to manage your assets by lending it with an anticipated annual interest rate of up to 73%, which is huge. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The second one was that we have had our GateChain Mainnet launch, 1.0 Genesis. That's how we've called it. Not a whole lot of information being released about it because it's a super big project, and we're still a little bit hesitant. We want to make sure everything is spick and span, that there are no bugs, that the user friendliness is as high as we claim it to be, so that transactions can be made back and forth. So it has been released in Mainnet, and there are some features which I will be talking about shortly. And then after I have mentioned them, soon Spiros, our community manager, is going to come out and elaborate on these individual features, what's possible, because there's a lot of really technically innovative features which come along with the mainnet. There's going to be a decentralized exchange part of it, a wallet, all of which are going to be quite revolutionary for the space. That's a bold claim, but it's true. Because as you know, one of the biggest hurdles in crypto is the fact that there's a lot of human error, right? So the human error that makes for the fact that people lose their private keys, or they lose access to their 2FA devices, which doesn't allow them access. They don't have the master codes if they lose the 2FA access. All this together makes that it's a little bit of an iffy space if you're not really sure what you're doing. You could be in crypto for 5 years and then still encounter a situation which is quite complicated by realizing that you can't send, for example, you can't send from, normally you cannot send Ethereum from one exchange to another. That all depends on the platforms, of course, but in many cases, if you send Ethereum from one platform to another platform, one exchange to another exchange, you'll either lose it or it'll get locked up. And it'll take a very long time for them to recuperate because you're sending from a smart contract to a smart contract. And that is not something which exchanges allow. Some exchanges don't notify you of this. So that's the hard way to learn that you should always send your ETH from an actual wallet, an ETH wallet, to an exchange if you want to trade it or cash it out or deposit or withdraw, whatever. These kind of things, this kind of knowledge is very prone to human error. So everything we've done in the design of GateChain is to make sure that it's more user-friendly, and that we kind of exclude any factor of human error, because obviously human error is always going to be the case. You can be tired, you can just not pay attention at a certain moment of time. There can be malware on your computer where you click on an address, but it doesn't copy the address you're supposed to copy, it copies a different address. All these things combined. I mean, you can be in crypto for 5 years, know all of these things, and still encounter an issue, right? So what we've done with the wallet and with the GateChain mainnet is we've made sure that elements of human error are limited as much as possible, which means that loss of private keys is no longer an issue. It's not resolved, obviously, in that sense that you still need to be able to, you need to pay attention to what you're doing, but we have designed a mechanism where transactions are able to be revoked. So either not getting access because you lost a private key, or sending to a wrong address because you weren't paying attention, or because hackers have tried to steal your funds. These are transactions which can be stopped through the mechanism of the GateChain wallet and the technology behind it. I'll read a little bit about it. So the releases of the test nets in 2018, four of which in 2019, and then 2 of which in 2020 have now, allowed for the launch of the actual mainnet itself. It's still limited, the things you can do on it, but that'll be expanded real soon, and you will be able to dig deep into what the possibilities are and what the transactions mean, etc. So revocable stolen assets. There's an innovative vault account feature, a vault like a safe, which is very applicable here. So we've got a dual storage mechanism of a normal account and the so-called vault account, and the vault account features the ability to revoke assets that have been stolen. So the transaction created by the vault account is revocable. The technical stuff's not interesting to get into, it's just mentioning it here, and having heard it for the first time is more interesting at this moment in time, because you can always read about it later. Users are able to initiate a revoke request within the revocable delay period. So you can set the period you want to be able to revoke in. And until that time, the transaction will not have been confirmed. It will be reversible, so it's not irreversible yet. Stolen transaction will be revoked and moved to the retrievable account, together with the features of management of a multi-sig account, management account, assets transfer, and the backup recovery of private keys. We've almost achieved 100% asset security. So combining also cold wallet and hardware wallet features, hot wallet features, that really consolidates the safety issues. We almost offer, perhaps even better, like a bank level asset security storage scheme. The only thing we don't offer yet, but that might happen in the future, is the guarantee deposit, which is offered by the European banks. So there's a clearing mechanisms, retrieving assets when private keys are lost. Dual storage mechanism of GateChain can not only revoke the stolen assets, but it can also retrieve the assets when the private keys are lost. When the private keys are lost, GateChain will settle the trading and transfer the assets of the lost account using the vault account, significantly safeguarding the assets in the event of unexpected damage. So what happens is it gets transferred to, how to put this in clear terms, to like an in-between account. And that in-between account safeguards your funds, something you won't be able to access immediately, but it's like a little side step to make sure that it isn't lost in one go. Because, generally, if you send your crypto to a wrong account, that's it. Sorry, that's it, it's lost. It's lost, you can't get it back, and there's no way to retrieve it, because, as you may know, it's really hard to find out where you've sent it to. You can find it on the blockchain, but who does that address belong to? Do they want to send it back? Does it even belong to an existing address, etc., etc.? So lost in the blockchain is a nice poetic way to put it. That might give me inspiration for later. In August, we're going to release a hardware wallet using Touch ID. That's for later, not going to get deep into that. massive assets transfer, real-time anti-theft monitoring. So we've implemented a massive asset transfer feature, monitoring the flows of assets in real time. So this will be activated once the assets of the Vault account are moved without the owner's consent. And the assets of the Vault account can be revoked within the revocable delay period as to ensure users on-chain assets security. High performance handling capacity with over 2,000 transactions per second, which you won't need, which won't be necessary at this moment in time, but on a scalability level, that's already very intense. Intense in the positive sense that it has a high capacity for transactions. High decentralization, over 1,000 nodes. So with a highly decentralized and fully open mining participation approach, every miner can become a supernode to participate in proof-of-stake mining. Those who do not feel like building their own nodes can also use one-tap POS mining through a proxy to gain profits. In order to incentivize the decentralization of each node and avoid the occurrence of node conspiracy that they work together to do a 51% attack, GateChain is also equipped with innovative features such as regulating mechanisms and allowing the low-staking nodes to harvest larger profits. With an open participation approach, GateChain has excluded the centralized control from supernodes, guaranteeing an entirely decentralized experience to our users. Next part's a bit technical. It's about proof-of-stake mining, participation via supernodes, and delegation. I'm going to leave you to read that for yourself in your own time. Sorry, I have a bit of a dry throat, allergy for the trees. Double profits of loyalty nodes and enhanced security with a loyalty factor. That's also a super technical part. Anything regarding nodes, loyalty factors, TPS, proxies, and delegation. It's too complicated to converse here unless we do like a master class about it, which is not what I intend to do. 4-second long block confirmation using practical Byzantine fault tolerance, which is a sidetrack of stuff that NEO uses, which is deliberated Byzantine fault tolerance, I believe. Let me see. So the list goes on. There's another 10 extra features of GateChain Mainnet. That's a small introduction. I'm going to elaborate on those next week as well, just to get slowly accustomed to what the possibilities are and what the possibilities are going to be. Crypto is still in an insecure space where there's a lot of responsibility for the user to hold his keys or to hold passwords, whatever. That brings responsibility, but also a lot of pressure, because you're always wondering, am I maybe making a mistake, or is there something I could be doing better? This system we have put in place are to relieve you from that mechanism where you don't have to think about security as much, and you can just trust the technology to work for you. So we're going to keep building on that. We're going to keep on testing the mainnet as we are exploring it and implementing it as we speak. Speedos will be around very soon, probably with a live stream to tell you all about it. And then there's one final note I would like to call upon, and that is that we are currently running a digital asset market-making competition, plus the third global digital asset quantitative trading competition. It's a huge announcement on our website. Definitely go check that out. So what we've done in order to improve the liquidity as it is on gate.io, we do about 100 million USDT a day to improve the liquidity, make it even bigger, make it more, especially that our futures trading fulfill the needs more of BTC, USD, and F investors. We will host the first global digital asset market making competition, plus the third global digital asset quantitative trading competition with Token Insight. Purpose of this activity is to provide a platform where digital assets exchanges, investors, and excellent managers in this industry can communicate and present themselves. This way, more and more outstanding market makers and quantitative teams, so for quant traders, high frequency traders, will be discovered. This competition will actively improve industry and transparency and promote the creation of a healthy industry development environment. Super interesting stuff, because market makers help create liquidity So they get a higher discount on the fees. As one of the mainstream exchanges, offer the biggest discount on market maker fees, and taker fees are also the most competitive in the entire industry. We've posted about that before, but definitely go check that out on our announcements, and you can see all about it. See how we put our money where our mouth is, and show you that we do indeed offer the cheapest fees. Check out this competition. It's going to start the 31st of July 2020, so we've got a lot of time. It's going to last for 61 days, 2 months, until the end of September. So check out that announcement. We're going to make some posts about it. We're going to re-announce it, because market making is a super interesting element of the industry. It's not something which applies specifically to new traders or people even who got in 2017, bought the top, and are still riding that crypto wave. It's for traders of huge quantities and high frequency traders. So they are definitely a group we want to appeal to and will appeal to in the future. That's it from me. At the end of this live stream, BTC has moved about $2. So that's not a lot of action happening at the moment. Who knows by next week what's going to happen. Always do your own research. We hope you pay a visit to gate.io right this moment, and otherwise tomorrow or somewhere during the week. Feel free to reach out to us on our Telegram group or our live support, which you can reach via the site. My Twitter handle is @PatrickVelleman. Reach out to me, send me a DM if you have any questions or anything you want to add or whatever. You can always reach us. You can reach me. I wish everyone a great week, and have a great day too. Bye.